Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Looking good there too. So I was just watching a little Star Trek Deep Space Nine, waiting.
The things you do.
Yeah, just.
I've been flying around just cooking and I always seem to be eating my meal when we come on, which I feel is a bit rude, but then, at
Well,
least I'm eating what we're going to be talking about.
yeah, it is what we're going to be talking about.
Mm,
I don't think it's rude at all.
excellent.
If
Thank
you
you.
if you brought one of the pigs in to eat, now that might be rude. But
Yeah,
pigs
that
got to
might fall.
eat.
I might have the police on my door from everyone going, oh, actually doing it. So that would be no good. So yeah, I really love the menu, and
Yeah, it is good. I had a little trouble with it because the first night I made it, I did not pre-cook the soybeans, the edamame, and so hey Wink, I saw you
Okay.
there. How are you?
I have a gremlin.
Yeah, there you are.
Gremlin. We won't talk about what Wink is about to cook in the kitchen.
Oh
Okay.
well, or who?
Romanesque potatoes and mushrooms he's cooking.
All right. Well, potatoes and mushrooms and what else?
Romanesque. Go and get it for me.
Is that is that vegan? No.
It is. It's a type of cauliflower that has florets,
Oh,
obviously.
yeah, it has the chlorets on it, right? Yeah.
Wink's saying it has Tourette's.
Tourette's.
Look at that beauty.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Looks
They
like a
are
big,
all
yeah,
fractals.
they
See?
are. Look at
They're all
that.
each little one of these little. Where's my finger?
Yeah, I can
Is
see.
each one of these knobbles
Mm-hmm.
is
Novels.
a
Yeah.
replica of this whole thing. It just goes smaller and smaller and smaller. Each single one. It's absolutely stunning.
Wow, that's beautiful.
It's a type of cauliflower,
Mm. It
and
looks like a broccoli cauliflower combined.
yes,
Yeah.
it's a bit
Mixture of the
like
two, almost. Very
mixture of
nice.
the two. And
Yeah.
Wink adores it. So
Well, that
my
looks
greengrocer
great.
has it. So there you go.
Yeah,
I
that
shall
looks.
snap that because I shall show the lovelies that. I've got 8
Shall I
on.
leave it
We
out
had
until-
11
shall I
on.
leave it until the?
Aren't you going to cook it?
I've already cut some off. Look.
Oh, he's already cut some off. Oh, excellent. Yes, leave it here then. Fabulous. Say hi, babies. My lovelies. Tell us how you're doing today.
I'm having steak with it as well. I didn't tell you that.
No, I didn't tell Jack the bit about you having a giant steak to go with all that lovely vegetables. Certainly didn't.
That's
But
all right. We have some interesting data today.
oh, fabulous.
I threw together some data for the discussion. We ended up going out last night and we watched Aquaman. I don't know. Is that in your theaters yet?
Aquaman. I've heard of
I've heard of
it.
it.
It's
Yeah, I've heard of it.
it's sort of the live action Aquaman. Hey, Robin, and Abby's been wanting to see it, and she didn't get to go see it with her friends because we had a film crew here when they were all going. So I made it up to her. So we went out, and I kind of got off of the the daily menu because. I couldn't resist the popcorn. I put myself into an area where weakness, that sort of just got me.
I love it.
But it was all right. When I came back, I made them some grilled soy curls and veggies, and so I was off menu, but still whole food plant based, just off menu.
Yeah.
But I'm back on it. I'm back on it today. So so you guys, you have seen it, Madge. Okay. Yeah, so it was actually fun. Hi, Cindy. Wasn't Spock, Star Trek, a vegan? I don't know.
He
That's
was a
interesting.
Vulcan.
Well, he was definitely a Vulcan. Got that. Can we all do the Vulcan, live long and prosper here? Yeah. But I don't know if he was a vegan.
There's
Hey,
Wink.
Core.
My hand makes that natural.
Let me say hi to some people because I didn't have my chat box
My hand
open.
makes that shape naturally.
Hi, Debs. Hi, Madge. Hi, V. Hi, Cor. Hi, Judy. Welcome. Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Diane. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Carol. Hi, Robin. Robin Snoopy. I see you've changed your thing. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Sika. Welcome. Everyone's saying hi to you as well, and hi
Well,
to you.
hello. So
Oh,
I did have a little data that I put together for us, but I wanted to first, before we move forward, I wanted to see how everybody was doing. Those that are doing the vegan menu that we put together, what your experience with it has been, how many are really trying it, and before we do that, I'll tell you what my experience was. I began right away with it Friday morning, and I did a blender where I used the blender and put the quarter cup walnuts, the half cup prunes, and the cup of banana. I just used a medium banana. You can't really save a little piece of leftover banana, so I just used a medium banana. And that was fabulous. I had to add a little more than a cup of water to it to get it to blend right. But it was creamy and delicious, and it was nice to have little crunchy walnuts. Were good.
lovely.
And okay, Spock apparently was a vegetarian. We all know vegetarian can mean so many things. Thanks, Madge. Hi, Bonnie. But then lunch came around, and I carried with me to work my lunch chop, and it was filling and delicious. In fact, it was more filling than I was expecting it to be. It was really very good. I did find that I got a little bit hungry around 3 o'clock, and the lunch that was delivered, they had some pickle spears, and I ate a couple pickle spears. But
That's
those are
cool.
like cucumbers, salted cucumbers, basically. I mean, they don't add any calories.
No, cool.
For the evening supper stir, I chopped it all up and threw it all in the pan. And in fact, I took a little picture of it. Let me see if I can get that on here. There it is.
Oh,
This shows what it looked like as I was
oh,
cooking it.
I've got to quickly go onto your channel now because I won't keep it up there
Yeah,
so that I can just
yeah.
have a look.
So
See.
what I did was I threw everything in. You can see if you look real close, you can see the chia seeds, and of course it's just loaded with what looks like lima beans. That's the edamame or the soybeans. They came in two varieties at our local grocery store. They had the hulled and the unhulled. So we got the unhulled because we don't want those big soy hulls. And you can also see the spinach in there and mushrooms, of course. And I'm not sure if I'm missing anything, but that's
There
what
you
it looked
go.
like in my wok. And as I began to cook it, it sort of started getting dry, and added a little bit of water, and that helped a little bit. Then I had to add a little bit more, but I cooked it until the mushrooms really got almost soggy. And but no matter what I didn't cook long enough, I guess, or I should have pre-cooked the soy because they stayed kind of crunchy. They were still crunchy when I ate them. Just a little bit
Right.
crunchy, not completely crunchy. So I don't think they were completely cooked. I think they would have. I think it would have been a more tasty experience. I did put a little grilling powder. Didn't have any salt in it. Just it had some garlic and pepper stuff in it. I mean, it was
Nice.
gave it a little bit more flavor, but it was actually very filling too. I had a hard time finishing it. It was almost two complete bowls full, but I did finish it. And then yesterday, I started off again. Did great for breakfast and lunch again, just like on the menu. But we went out in the evening. We watched a movie, and I got into some popcorn. And when I came back, I decided I didn't want to. It was late. I didn't want to cook up the meal again, so I did. I had some soy curl, and so I just chopped up veggies, and I'll show you what that looked like.
Oh,
Got another picture,
another
and it
picture.
looks pretty good. What I wanted to do was kind of a imitation chicken fajita kind of idea with the soy curls. So this is what the veggies looked like when I chopped them up and threw them in, and they look pretty good and fresh, and they were. I just threw them in with no water again, and then I added about a quarter cup of water as they started cooking because they also started to dry out. And as you know, when you cook the vegetables, if you don't steam them, they'll if you put them on a in a fry situation like this, then they start to dry up and they'll burn even if you're not careful. I didn't want that, so it turned into more of a saute, I suppose. But I did that, and then I don't have a picture of the soy curls. I did some soy curls, but I didn't do the regular. I didn't do the regular menu because of scheduling and that kind of thing. But I made a reasonable substitution. Thanks, Robin. It did look good, and it tasted fantastic.
Excellent.
So kind of back on it this morning, and Just kind of a lazy weekend. The sun has been out though. We're starting to dry up a little bit. We've had so much rain, so that's nice.
That is good.
So that's been my experience with it. I'm going to have to follow the instructions on the bag of edamame or soybean, and I'm going
Mm,
to have to pre-cook those tonight. I believe I need to pre-cook them somehow. So I'll have to check the direct. I figured I'd just throw it all in a pan and cook it, and that was a mistake. It really it just
yeah.
didn't work. They all cook at different temperatures and different periods of time. So for tonight, I'm going to pre-cook the soybeans and then I'll throw everything in because the rest of it all sort of cooked up about the same time. So that really
Mm.
wasn't an issue. So if I put pre-cooked soybeans, hey Geraldine, if I put pre-cooked soybeans in there and then add the rest of it, I think it's going to cook up just fine for tonight. So that'll be my plan for this evening. The rest of it has gone very well. I jumped on the scale yesterday morning. I was 187. So,
Ooh,
I
nice.
I think I could see myself probably lose a few pounds more on this. But anyway, I'm really interested in everybody else's experiences. Tell us what your situation has been, Sue. I know you jumped into it. You were
I
working
have
on the
indeed.
vegan menu.
So Thursday, I didn't have any of the ingredients because we had the whole fridge being installed and stuff. So Friday, I went out to get the ingredients, and they didn't have any avocados and they didn't have any bananas. And I was at a greengrocer, so I didn't have some of the ingredients. So basically, we went. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday we went out to our big supermarket.
We did go to the deli to book your birthday dinner.
Yeah, darling, that's nothing to do with the menu,
He's
darling.
going to do vegan.
My birthday dinner. Yeah, my anyway, I'll come into that. So I went to our big supermarket, and they did not have any edamame beans. They didn't have them tinned. They didn't have them frozen. They didn't. I asked the staff. They looked at me like I'd asked for some weird creation in, ancient Chinese. They literally, I was saying, soybeans, soy. Anyway, I couldn't get those. So I have bought loads of different pulses because I'm intending to do loads of recipes. So I'm basically eating those. So this is what I cooked yesterday. Hang on a second. This was all ready to go. My phone's gone to sleep. So that is what I made yesterday. So I used some
Looks good.
borolotti beans. I believe those are in there that you can see. With the quinoa, I threw in the chia seeds just raw, so they have a nice crunch there. The mushrooms, I really enjoyed that as well. I have got a ton of flake chili seeds in there because I like that. And really, really, really tasty. I enjoyed it so much because there were just a few ingredients, in case you haven't seen that. In case, because there were just a few ingredients in there, you get to taste everything. The mushrooms really take on the taste of everything. I have to say, I did add a dash of toasted sesame seed oil, so, into that one. And I managed to get avocados, but they're not ripe, and my bananas aren't ripe, but I've got all the ingredients. So my bananas will be ripe tomorrow. My avocados will be ripe tomorrow, so I can go full throttle. But what I'm eating at the moment is another version. See how different that looks.
Oh yeah.
And this. I prefer this even to yesterday. So these are in the foreign food section. They're called Roseco beans, and they look like that. And they are really big. They're like giant. I mean, look at the size of this. They're really like giant, fat red kidney beans. So they're about a third bigger again. And as you can see, that they're really, really big and fat and very tasty. So I start by putting my mushrooms in. Then I put my beans in. Then I add my quinoa. Then I add my chia seeds. And then I add my spinach. And I've got loads of chili seeds in it again because I just like, I'm a sucker for. In fact, you can see them on there. You can see all those red flecks of chilies. I put like a tablespoon in.
You're saying chili seeds, not chia seeds?
Chili.
Chili, okay.
Chili. So just adding some flavour. And
Sure.
also probably see this is quite yellow. I added a load of turmeric
Oh yeah, okay.
as well. So I've got a really lovely, smoky, turmericy,
Mm-hmm.
fiery chili,
Mm-hmm.
healthy, lovely dinner, and it's just gorgeous. I might have added a bit more spinach because I laid it on a bed of raw spinach because I'm just such a sucker for it. I love it. So this is it in the flesh.
So I'm curious about one thing.
Okay.
The can, hold up that can of beans again,
Okay.
and I want you to turn it to the ingredients list, and I want you to tell us how many servings are in that can.
Right. Ingredients.
Does your
Okay.
can have a nutritional information sticker on
Yeah.
it? There you
It's
go.
got the nutritional information. I hope that's the right way around.
It does.
So,
It shows 0.23 grams of sodium per typical values per 100 grams. How many grams in the can?
to drained weight 240 grams.
All right, so that has about 3/4 of a gram of salt, so about 750 milligrams of salt. That one can, you have to be careful. That one can has almost a daily's supply of salt in it. Just that
Mm,
can. So be very careful if you're using these canned products. I just wanted to show
yeah.
everybody that. But lots of protein you can see there, lots of fiber, lots of calories. So wonderful.
I did rinse and wash the beans as well, so that they didn't have any residue of the. I think it is salty water that it's in salted water.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in brine. It's in brine.
But
Which
that's the
gives
only
it
thing I
great
can.
taste, by the way. It does give it great taste.
I mean, really, really yummy. Really, really yummy. People are going meat, me eat. Meat means me eat. And aluminium canned food not so good. Yeah, but in the summer I tried dried chickpeas because they're like 100 times cheaper and just like gazillion more portions in it. And I spent I did the boiling them rapidly for like the 20 minutes, and then I ended up simmering them for almost 4 hours, and they were still like bullets. They were inedible, they were still raw, and just from tasting about two or three to see if they were cooked yet after the way extended from the packet simmering that I'd done, I got quite an upset stomach and quite a lot of pain in my stomach because they're poisonous when they're raw, of course, not very good for you.
Right.
So I've kind of decided I'm not going that dried route again. For a start, how much money does that cost to simmer something for hours and hours and hours on end? So I don't know what the solution is, but you are right about the sodium content. Of course, 2 cups is a can
Well,
in this recipe.
I'm hoping that I'll be able to find some pulses, some bean products that are in the frozen food section
Mm,
that may solve some of that. And I'll keep looking at it. But yeah, I have the same problem because I tried that with the garbanzo beans and got myself sick. So I don't want to do that again. And but I've
yeah.
got lots of beans, and I need to learn how to go from the dried bean to the cooked bean. And it may be, yeah, you may have to go with some kind of like a crock pot or something to get a pot of
Yeah.
beans. Either that or it does take time. You're right. There's a lot of
Mm,
cooking time involved with those. So, those are things that we'll want to look at as we come up with menus going forward. I want to kind of stick
yeah.
with this one till Thursday to get a little more experience with the ingredients on this particular list before we add something different or make some changes.
Exactly. I've got a couple of questions, and the lovely Chris popped in to say hi, but she's had to go already. So I know you're going to watch the replay. So hi, Chris, sweetheart. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Francis. Who else have we got? Lakiku. Hi, darling. And Madge, the lovely Madge. Hello. Yeah, I did rinse them well. And who is right? Seeker has said, "What can I use because I cannot stand bell peppers?"
I answered that. I said she could try
Oh, did you?
onions or
Sorry.
onions, scallions, or just popped right off the top of my head. But you could. There's lots of green products. mustard greens, lots of others that you could substitute. I think that you could just make a straight substitute for,
Yeah.
um, or just leave it out. I mean, it's not a real high nutrition content. You could go with cucumbers. You could go with celery for that matter.
Mm.
You probably just end up with more fiber, but I mean, there's not really a lot of nutrition in the bell pepper. It just has a lot of vitamin C, and that's why we chose it. Which we don't have to really worry about vitamins because we're all taking a daily multivitamin anyway. So
Yeah.
it's nice to have it, but it's not entirely necessary.
Bell peppers, what we've got in there, vitamin C. So there's loads of things.
Yeah, one cup of bell pepper has 200% of the U.S. recommended daily allowance of vitamin C in it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Just there you go, straight away.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think I also did soak these chickpeas like way overnight, like for like almost 24 hours. So I also think that maybe beans don't behave quite the same way as chickpeas because they're
Right,
kind of a different thing, aren't they?
right.
And even sometimes when you get them in the can, they can be a bit hard. So absolutely excellent. Now, Jack sent me the recipe, which is great in a photo, and because I haven't had time to type it up, I did send it to pretty much most of the people that had actually been on the chat via Messenger. So everyone was really grateful for that, and I will type it up because I want to do a Facebook post on it as well, and just talk about.
You're talking about the menu for this week's menu?
Sorry.
This week's menu?
Yeah, this
Oh,
week's
okay,
meant
sure,
you
sure.
sent it as a screenshot rather than an
Right.
Excel, so I couldn't actually grab the text, and I haven't had time to go through it at the moment. So
Oh, I can send it
no,
as I don't have it in Excel, but I have it in the Mac
oh,
number version.
brilliant, even better. And then I can, because I probably can't paste that into the description, but I'll be able to type it as in words so that they can pick it off there themselves.
I'll send
But
it
yeah,
to
I
you
think this is a
now.
great idea.
Yeah, I'll send it to you right now.
Okay,
Let's see
cool.
this. I just believe I think they just call it numbers file. But it's their
Yeah, they
spreadsheet.
do.
It's their spreadsheet file.
And I think it probably works just the same as Excel. Never used it, but I'm pretty sure I'll be able to figure it out.
All right,
Mm.
you actually should have it now.
Mm.
Anyway, anybody else?
Okay.
Okay, so Robin had some ideas. She said steam the frozen edamame before tossing in the pan. I think that's. I'll bet you there
Brilliant.
is on the side of the bag, and I'm gonna have to check here, and I will this evening, obviously. But I bet there's microwave instructions, which we know preserves 95% of the nutrients in the product when you microwave it. So microwaving might be a good choice for that, and or I'll look at if they have steaming instructions. And she says also use lemon juice and walnuts to the steamed edamame. So lemon juice. I think we're already getting our walnuts. Walnuts are a high fat item, so we kind of balance that in with our quarter cup for the morning. One thing more too about the avocados, I had the same issue with the avocados that I found. They were very small and they were not ripe. I went ahead the night before and I scooped out a very small avocado to get my proper amount and sliced it very thin and put it in the Tupperware with the tomato and the bell pepper and left it in overnight. And the next afternoon, when I ate it had softened up almost as if it had ripened. So
Really?
yeah, it really didn't. I really didn't. Wasn't crunchy anymore. But if I had eaten it right when I had sliced it, it would have been crunchy and not as ripe
A
tasting.
bit
So
leathery and no flavor.
right.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got a whole bunch of them now, enough to keep me going for the week. I really like that, and I think although I kind of freestyle pretty much everything that I eat, as you see, I've even had to embellish this because I was like, it's very chilly and everything. Um, it
Well,
feels good to follow something. It
right. Gives
really
you a
does.
guide. It's
Just
just
it
a
takes out
guide.
the thinking. You just shop and then you just do that, and it is. This meal that I'm eating now is so tasty. You know, that I could just eat this over and over and over again, you know.
Definitely a lot of
So I think it's
flavors.
a really good thing about it. It'd be really good.
Yep, lots of flavor. Lots of
Yeah.
flavor in there.
And Chef Alicia said hi.
Oh,
She was
great.
on quickly. Yeah, she said hi and said, "Let me know if you want me to help you in any way with your show. I think you're amazing." And she just thinks it's amazing. And I said, you know, that you'd done a recipe for us all to follow based on getting a balance of nutrition and nutrients and, you know, easy things. And she, oh, send it to me. I'd love to see it. So, you know, excellent. That's you know, she's just like, you know, thumbs up to us. So that's really brilliant. So so everybody's saying, not everybody, but a lot of you are saying that you got your menu. I know a lot of you thanked me for sending it. So have you been eating it? Are you enjoying it? Because a lot of you will have had a fridge when this started and not have to go out and buy every food item from scratch.
I had to buy about half of it. About half I had, about half I didn't. I bought chia seeds and didn't remember that I had a whole bag full of chia seeds, so I didn't need that. And I bought. I needed the. Oh, what did I need? I needed the
Quinoa.
spinach. I needed the spinach. Well, I'm getting lots of thumbs down. Thanks, whoever's doing that. I got 4 thumbs down. Isn't that
Oh,
sweet?
dear.
Isn't that sweet?
That's nice.
Whoever it is isn't bothering to talk, isn't bothering to chat. I'd sure like to know why they're thumbs downing me.
I don't know why that would be. Maybe they're thumbs downing me
No,
being on your channel.
it's on my channel. They've specifically come on to thumbs down me, so that's okay.
Well,
I don't
some
care.
people don't have anything better to do. And if you're all enjoying it, give us a thumbs up because it helps to spread it. It means more people see this, which is fantastic. Right, Sika loves avocados, but they give me a bad headache. I don't know why. Oh.
Could be a trigger for migraine, or you may have a little allergy to whatever's in the avocado, so don't eat them. That's a shame too. Avocados are a really important source of fat, essential fats. There are essential fats, believe it or not. It's not a problem. We don't see a lot of essential fat deficiencies in America, believe it or not.
Probably not. Madge is off to Costco tomorrow to stock up. Madge, I wish I wasn't working. I'd like to come with you. Although I'm a little scared of Costco because I think I might just run wild with buying everything on bulk and we wouldn't be able to fit it in. Thank you for all the thumbs up. You're wonderful.
Thanks for all the thumbs down. You guys rock. I've got five thumbs down now.
Jack, you know we all love you. We love you. We know you all do.
I don't let that bother me. Hey, I had a friend who texted me Saturday night and he said, "You're on TV in San Antonio." Apparently the news story that we did here in Houston got picked up by a San Antonio station on how to save money on prescription drugs. I thought it was pretty funny. I replied to him. I said, "It must be a slow news day in San Antonio."
Oh, gosh. Right, Cindy Dotson, are you on Facebook with me? Because I can send you it on Facebook, the menu. Okay? Mary's just woken up from a nap, bless her. So anyone who hasn't got the menu, let me know on here. Actually, not in the live chat, because I have to watch the whole hour and a half, 2 hours again to see your comments. So after it's finished, please go back and comment on it like you would a video that was posted up that wasn't live, because it's just I don't have enough time in the day to go through it again and look at all the comments. So if you put it in the comment, that will be good. Cindy, are you on Facebook at all, Cindy? If you are, friend request me. I'm pointing with my cursor, like you can see my screen. I'm such a numpty. It's the same. Yeah, Lynn, I will send you the menu. I'll do that now. So I have a blue hair in my Facebook profile, and it's the same name, just my actual name, Sue Verhoeven. So I'm going to try and send you that now, Lynn, because I know I'm on Facebook with you. and I will extract this information and I will put it in the description of this video. Okay. And I will also put it in last week's, as though for those of you who maybe watched and weren't on live and haven't commented, so I don't know you've watched and you would like the menu as well. So I think that's how we're going to do it. Right, Lynn, I'm going to just do this for you right now. Lynn. Just searching for you. So how are you? And you're not on Facebook, Cindy. Okay, you'll have to wait till I put it in the description then, sweetheart. Lynn, right, okay. Oh, I cancel. I don't know what's going on here. Lynn, Lyn, Lynn McGuire. Right, okay. Oh, I can't do two things. It's asking me to set up some secret chat, which I don't want to do. Lynn McGuire. Okay, right. I'm sending it to you right now, so you'll get it on your messenger, sweetheart. Okay, here we go. We are nothing if not reactive on this channel of love and health. Well, not love and health together, but love for each other and health. Cool. Yeah, I will do that. So anyone else? Seeker she can't give up avocados, bless her, despite the fact she gets headaches because she loves them so much. Amazing. Has anyone ever tried cooking avocados, roasting them in the oven?
Oh, that's interesting. I have not.
They taste completely different. They taste a bit like artichokes. Globe artichokes. It's very, very tasty. Apparently, Jack, I know that you're not even interested to know, but if you touch the thumbs down, you can see who it is.
Are you able to do that?
I don't know. I haven't got any thumbs down. Sorry.
Oh, well, I'm not on YouTube, so because I'm on Ecamm Live.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, I could go to YouTube. Then I have, I'm not quite sure.
That'd be interesting.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I don't care. It's rude, but I just hate, I just hate to have somebody just come on and just be rude just to do it. I mean, if you're gonna thumbs down, at least have the guts to come on and tell us why.
Yeah.
Hey, if you come on and say, I only want to see medical stuff, so I'm thumbs down and I'm unsubscribing from this channel, I'll say, fine. That's not what this channel is about. I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate you stopping
you need the
by.
Other channel.
But grow up about it, Don't be a baby.
Yeah, true. Oh my goodness, frozen avocado. I can't think that would freeze well, but obviously maybe it does. But they were very squishy afterwards. Deb, send me the menu, please, Mary is saying. I don't know, maybe your friends on Facebook or whatever. Mary Knox, the lovely Mary. So has anyone tried anything? How are people feeling with the menu? Someone's starting it on Monday, which is great. We will have a new one on Tuesday because Dr. G is on it and all over it. So, Mary.
Okay, so Core says she's using dabs of olive oil to cook up in the pan. And that really leads me into a little discussion that I have prepared for you all today. So we can do that if you want, or you can just keep talking.
Please.
We can talk about, trolls, or we can watch Sue eat, or we can do whatever you guys can keep telling us about your experience. I'm totally open as to how we progress here. So,
okay. Hi, darling.
Once again, what we're doing is we're using a special software program to split a Skype discussion. So what Sue and I are doing is we're Skyping, and we're taking the Skype feed and it's being split by another software program that we each have that allows us to each broadcast onto YouTube. We're not directly on YouTube, okay? So though you're seeing us on YouTube, neither one of us are working off of YouTube. In fact, I don't even have a browser open, okay? Or any YouTube program. I could, I guess, if I really wanted to, I could turn it on my phone and, see all that.
I've got it on my phone.
I could do that, but it's really not that important. So, frankly, you guys are here, so I'm here to help you, and let's move forward. So, I found some really interesting data that I thought I would share with you. The first one, and I'm going to do it just like I usually do. I'm just going to put it up on the screen here, so bear with me. And you guys have talked about cholesterol and other lab values.
Uh-huh.
I am core. I'm going to discuss using olive oil. That's kind of where we're going here. Okay. Um,
It's my core staple oil.
so I have a chart that I've just put up that talks about cholesterol in vegan diets. This is a study that actually it's a study of studies. So this would be what we talked about last time, a meta-analysis that talks about
Excellent.
17 different studies that were done um, on vegans, different kinds of vegans versus non-vegans, in 17 different studies. Okay.
Okay.
And you can see across the top the average cholesterol measured in the studies between the years 1980 and 2002. So we're already almost 20 years old, right? Some of this data is almost 40 years old. The vegan average cholesterol total was 160. The lacto-ovo was 185 with 2,000 people measured. The vegan was 749 measured. The fish-eating vegans, which I presume is an add-on to lacto-ovo, so it's not just fish. I believe that when they do that, that means they're everything that you've seen before. So it would be lacto-ovo plus fish. Their average cholesterol was 196, and then those that identified themselves, another 1,800 people, as being non-vegetarian or just average diet, their average cholesterol between 1980 and 2002 was 201. If you drop down, the average LDL or bad cholesterol for a vegan was 90, 106 for a lacto-ovo, 113 for a pescatarian, and 120 for a normal dieted person. And then if you look, we're going to skip the HDL. The HDL does go up a little bit with the fish eaters. It goes up a little bit, but the total cholesterol goes up too. So if you look down as a percentage of cholesterol versus HDL, that number gets larger, which is not good. So even though the HDL goes up, it doesn't go up as much as the total cholesterol does. So even though the overall HDL number is increasing as you move across the board, except for the very last
Yeah.
row, it's not as much as the total cholesterol, so that's still not good. Okay, so you may think, well, there's more. They have more HDL. They have more good cholesterol if they're eating fish. That's true, but they have more bad cholesterol too. And if you look at the LDL across the board, it's moving up as well, and the total cholesterol is moving up more. There's a whole nother category of cholesterol that's not listed here, and that's VLDL, and then you have there is a middle range that's missing as well. So there are lots of other ways of measuring. These are two large measurements, but I want you just to look at total cholesterol here because I really don't have a comparison for the LDL in the next one, okay? So just
Okay.
look at total cholesterol going across the board. You can see going from 1980 to 2002, went from 160 to 201. That's a 41-point increase as you move across from vegan to lacto-ovo to pescatarian to non-vegetarian readings. Okay, so let's close that one. And now I want to jump to the same data, but only as it applies to Americans, which is really kind of interesting to me. Apparently, Americans at that time, between 1980 and 2002, were eating a little bit better than other people in the world because the average vegan cholesterol in the studies that were just Americans were 146.4. Lacto-ovo was 177, and then the non-vegetarian was 194. They apparently didn't have enough data or were unable to get the pescatarian. I don't think they had enough data. The LDL increase is very similar, and the HDL increase is also very similar, as well as the ratio of cholesterol to HDL. So, but overall, it looked like we were eating as Americans. Those that categorized themselves as vegans certainly were doing better than the rest of the world, and even our total cholesterol was better than what was going on in the rest of the Western world. But after 2002, things seemed to change quite a bit. There was a study done in 2013, which is 5 years old now. This is the cholesterol in the EPIC Oxford study that we're going into now. And so I'm going to put this is a larger chart I'm going to put up. And this is what I want to compare with, because I want you to remember those numbers from 2000, from 1980 to 2000. And this actually breaks it down by gender a little bit. And you can see the total cholesterol for vegans in men on average, and this is again the Western world, was 170. So that was an increase. And if you look in women, it's 172. If you go over to lacto-ovo, total cholesterol is 188 in men. And in women who identified as lacto-ovo-vegetarian, they're 184. And then if you look at the pescatarian total, 196 in men versus 188 in women. And then the non-vegetarian or the regular diet, 204 total cholesterol in men and 195 in women. So there's a significant increase.
Wow.
Especially in the vegans, of total cholesterol. Now, there's another little thing down here. They have some other data that's really interesting, and I would love to have this apolipoprotein B information for men and women from back in those original studies from 1980 to 2002, but they didn't have that data. So the question I have for you is, why is the total cholesterol so much higher in 2013 for vegans in Western countries as opposed to between 2000 or between 1980 and 2002 for vegans?
I reckon I know, but I'm not going to say. I'm going to let you lovelies.
I would love for all of you to tell me why you think that is.
Okay, so repeat the question again.
The question is, I just showed you a bunch of cholesterol data that compared vegans in Western countries between the years 1980 and 2001 in meta-analysis versus a study that was done in 2013, just 11 years later, that showed a significant increase in the total cholesterol. So originally we were around 160, and in 2013 we're 172. What's the difference?
What's the difference, lovelies? Tell us what the difference is. Hi, Cal. While they're all thinking and typing, Cal got an Instant Pot for Christmas and it cooked beans in 20 minutes. So maybe you need one of those pot roast things.
Yeah. So we've had several correct answers. They were all correct because they all mean the same thing. Some are saying processed foods, some are saying more oils, and they're both correct. Oils technically are processed foods, okay? You can't get oil, you can't get olive oil unless you process the olives. I mean, that is by definition a processed food. So safflower oil and all of these oils that we're using more of because we think they're safer than the old Crisco, and they are, but we're using more of it. It's just like saying I'm eating chicken because it's healthier than beef, but we're eating so much chicken, we're getting more cholesterol in America from chicken than we are from beef as a nation.
Wow.
Right? Because chicken has 97% of the cholesterol of beef, right? So, but we're eating lots of chicken because we think it's healthier. So,
yeah.
The correct answer is it's more processed foods and oils. Those are all correct. So we have to be careful that when we cook and we prepare foods and we want to call ourselves vegan, that we don't just say vegan, that we really remember that we're plant-based whole food. And that's why it's so important to use the term whole food when you're thinking about this, because if you don't, you're going to get a lot more of the stuff that you really don't want to have.
Yeah.
And yes, Robin's also right. Those processed oils dramatically impact your triglycerides, which we did not talk about. I had some data on triglycerides, but I wanted to keep this as kind of a simple comparison. So cook without oil. And Core, that goes back to what you were saying. Could you drizzle the olive oil and things like that? Yeah, you can do that if you want. but you're going to miss out on the whole benefit of a whole food plant-based diet if you lose lots of oils. You'll get some of the benefit, but you're not going to get the complete benefit as if you were cooking whole food. So put a little water in there and allow that to help prevent sticking. And I know it's a sticking issue. Or cook other ways. Do steaming, microwave, things like that. Or just eat it raw if you can, but not all food really. You can't eat those soybeans raw, right? We can't eat the beans. We're not going to crunch on dried beans, right? We're not going to do that. We're going to cook them somehow. So
absolutely. I mean, I really like lots of. I mean, I think my instinct as a kid was to eat everything raw. My mum used to crunch on everything, and whatever she was chopping up to cook, probably to death as it was back in the 60s, we would eat. We would eat it raw. Even potato. And I know you're not supposed to eat raw potatoes, but I really like them. But I don't actually eat a lot of white potatoes anymore. Anyway, very occasionally do I cook them. So yeah, you're right, and this is why a lot of people who become vegan and then they get rid of the processed vegan foods and then they start looking at raw and they become like raw before 4, and then they'll just then they actually prefer the taste of the texture, the crunch, the whole eating experience of raw. Just because you've got all the flavor in it, you haven't altered any of the molecules by cooking it, and naturally we would eat things raw if we had weren't the smartphone cooking electricity kind of evolution that we are. So and it's something that I think it will be very difficult to start off from just eating processed foods, fast food, loads of meat, loads of cheese, lots of all of the goodness knows what that are in packet food, to suddenly go completely raw. And I think that's such a big leap. But I think as you go on with this, your body enjoys it more. It's funny, somebody contacted me today, and I was having a chat, and they said that they were deficient in what was it? They were doing much better and everything was going, but they were still deficient in potassium. So I just quickly looked up that on the internet, and I sent her potassium rich sources, white beans, sweet potato, spinach, beet greens, avocados, acorn, squash. Don't know what that is. I've never seen one of those, but it'll be some kind of squash. And bananas, and it's just
and strawberries.
And strawberries. That I just did a quick list because I was messaging.
Yeah.
I spent all day messaging people today, and she said to me, "Oh, that's really funny because I've been craving." I think she said spinach and bananas, and I'm like, yes, because you're going plant-based, because you're taking better care of your health, your body's actually telling you what it needs, and this is what happens when you're pregnant, when you need something. Have like these weird food combinations that and there's lots of jokes about it, and there's lots of talks about women chewing on coal dust and all sorts of stuff when they're pregnant because they have this absolute insatiable craving for something, and that will be the body going, wake up, I need this. And when you stop bombarding your body with processed foods, when you stop bombarding it with stuff that we shouldn't really be eating kind of naturally, your body starts waking up and it starts guiding you. So I was just like absolutely thrilled when I got that message back saying that, funnily enough, she'd been craving it. And I had somebody else ask me that their iodine was down. So I just quickly, if you've got anything that is down, okay, and somebody's doctor said they needed to eat more dairy, either for the potassium or the iodine. I can't remember which two. This was
calcium, probably.
Sorry?
Probably calcium, but go ahead.
They said no, it wasn't. It was either iodine or potassium. They were told that they need to start eating dairy to up their iodine, I think. Or it was one or the other.
Interesting.
One of the two messages. And we had a little laugh about knowing better. And
right.
But if you have got anything that you're missing in your diet, literally, I just put plant-based iodine sources, and I did the exact same thing for potassium sources. we all know bananas have got them in, but actually there's other food stuff that you wouldn't imagine that maybe is richer. We tend to think oranges are a really rich source of vitamin C, but I think, is it broccoli that's got more vitamin C in it than
I honestly would have to look it up.
yeah,
We
there
just
is
talked about the
one.
bell pepper though,
Yeah, bell peppers have got them. And who would have thought you get vitamin C from a pepper? Because we associate it
right?
from all the things we've heard in our past that you get vitamin C from oranges and
Citrus
from
fruits,
and
right? Yeah,
citrus. But we get it from vegetables and
sure.
everything.
And we get all the salt that we need from the vegetables too. And we discovered that as we were going through last week, and we were talking, or on Thursday, we looked at that, and we were concerned about sodium content. But the truth is you get all the sodium that you need just eating a whole food plant based diet. You do not need to supplement sodium. And that's where the whole discussion about iodine came up. Remember, we talked about what foods contained iodine, and we found that we got enough iodine as well. So we really wasn't anything to be concerned about. As long, also with other micronutrients, everything from copper to zinc to selenium to manganese to all those things that you see that way down at the bottom of the list on your multivitamin. If you've got a good one, right, they'll
Yeah,
have all of that in there because some people have strange diets. Or if you're eating an animal-based diet, those are the things that you're not getting. Everybody's, well, oh, you're not getting enough of this or that. But what they're not thinking about is what you're not getting enough of if you're eating an animal-based diet. And there's a lot that gets left out.
yeah, absolutely, totally. Karen is saying she started sauteing with water instead of oil, and she really likes it
You
better.
taste,
I need to
yeah,
try that.
you get the
I need
real
to try.
taste. You get the real taste of the vegetables, and they're really fantastic. But if you really want more flavor, and you want to feel that, or you want to taste that flavor jump, do like Robin said: squeeze a little lemon wedge, a little lemon juice on there. You'd be surprised. Or do like you're doing, Sue, with the roasted sesame seeds and things like that. Really healthy ways to get a little
Yeah.
bit more flavor out of it.
Right, I've got like two questions. One from Robin, and then I want to swip on to Lynn's because it's quite shocking. Yeah, calcium is in broccoli, Deborah. Right, Robin is saying she was wondering about 100% avocado oil. That is an oil that I also cook with. What do you think? Again, it's processed, I guess.
It's super fatty. It's more than you need. Eat the whole avocado.
Yeah.
That's going to be
But
our
if she
answer
was
to
getting some
every
other
oil. What
cook,
about corn oil? Eat corn. What about sunflower oil? Eat sunflowers. That's what we're going to say. Because if
yeah,
you don't, then what you're eating is a highly concentrated, calorie-rich product that you don't need.
processed.
You,
Okay.
okay, that's the beauty of the whole food part of all of this.
Right. Okay. So that is going to be the stock answer on oils. But if you're going to be using oil, avocado oil, macadamia nut oil, olive oil is much better than using vegetable oil and even seed oil. Just, the body processes it better. But anyway, we're going to say eat the whole food. Although I know when some of you are transitioning, it's a habit you're used to doing or you don't really know how it will work. But actually, already, somebody said, sorry, I've forgotten who it is already, sorry, that I think it was Karen that started, frying in water. It's kind of shallow steaming, I
It
guess, is
is.
what's
It's more like
happening.
a little bit of a steam thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So this really shocking thing, that Lynn has said. Lynn, you're in Scotland, aren't you? I'm pretty sure you are. Her doctor has really come down on her when she told him she's changed to a vegan diet. She's lost 35 pounds, and he says it's too much too quickly. How long has it taken you to lose that? Is that since the end of October when we started? I'd really be interested to hear what you have to say about that. She says she feels better for it and she's not going to change back.
As long as you're not losing more than 8 to 10 pounds in a month, you're not losing weight too fast. That's
There
the
you
answer.
go.
In fact, when I work with people on specific weight loss diets, my goal is for them to lose 2 pounds a week. That's 8 pounds a month. If you go 4 months since October, 8 times 4 is 32 pounds. She's perfectly on target. Okay? So she's not
Yeah,
losing weight too fast, in the opinion of this Texas doctor.
yeah.
I should wear a
Not
stethoscope.
not
Should I be
Texas.
wearing my
Uh,
stethoscope right now and a smock of some kind? Do I have to look like all those, TV doctors and wear the stuff?
we love you the way you
All
are.
right then.
So this isn't some Texan we found at a bus stop. It's not some Texan we found under a car or behind a bush. This is a medical practitioner, family doctor for like over 25 years. Is it 29
25
years?
years. I'm
25
sticking with
years.
25. It's I've been there a while now. I'm staying
So,
there.
sorry, well, let's just say 10 because obviously Jack's only 25 himself. So
I'm getting younger as I'm eating healthier. I've noticed I'm definitely looking healthier and younger. So I think I'm going to have to revise that number downward somewhat,
yeah,
or I'm going to have to
yeah,
tell people I
that's
went to
right.
medical school when I was 14. One or the other.
Doogie Howser. Darling is Doogie Howser.
Doogie Howser, you were
Yeah.
Doogie Howser. Wonder Woman, what's she saying? If you feel good, go for it. If your levels are where they need to be, bunk him.
Yeah, yeah, I think there's a little professional jealousy there. I think he's a little upset that he didn't tell you what to do to lose the 30-pound
Yeah,
girls. I mean,
just like,
you're
just
getting
like,
healthier. Do it.
yeah, it's like Beverly's doctor who rolled his eyes, who couldn't cure her type 2 diabetes in 4 years. Yeah, we managed to do it just by eating right.
Isn't that amazing?
Scott,
Just
amazing. So,
amazing.
Deborah's saying, poo on your doctor, doctor's hissy fit. Poo on your doctor's hissy fit. Gloucestershire, I knew you were in the UK, Lim, and I knew you were up. Yeah, she's been right from the beginning. So yeah, you've heard it here. You know, absolutely. And I honestly, we can literally ask Jack any medical question. So far, we've not asked him one that he's had to go and look up a textbook. He kind of knows it off the top of his head. He's practicing it. He has done masses of research just, for his own benefit to sort out his own health issue, which he slam dunked ages ago. Now he's passing it on to his patients. And now we're passing it on to you. We're spreading it out there. And, like my post said, a lot of doctors don't know this stuff because
They
they're
don't.
busy treating coughs and colds,
Yeah.
administering medicines, even in the UK, it's, they're managing symptoms and they're diagnosing, oh, yes, you've got a cold, you've got a virus, oh, yes, obviously, I know, don't even go there, Susan, I've stopped myself in time. Then they don't have the luxury of going, right, I'm going to spend this week having a real good look about this plant-based whole food eating. Because, they're all just diets, aren't they? And if their patient walks in and is a bit slimmer, they don't know how they've done that. And they don't, I've never, ever been asked about my diet and what I eat by a GP in all my nearly 55 years. Nobody's ever asked me that question. Nobody's even ever recommended, if I've had I'm hardly ever ill. So, I'm not your typical person. Well, hopefully I'm lots of typical people, but I'm very lucky that I'm not ill very much. But nobody's ever said, try eating this, try eating that. It's just like, even if you go in with not that I would ever waste a doctor's time with a cold, because, I kind of know when I've got a cold and I know kind of what to do. But, I doubt if I even went in there, I'd be recommended eat lots of fruits and vegetables and blah, blah, blah. It's just, they don't know. It's a long time since their training. And unless they do, I think they're learning about new drugs and new ways to treat things that are there, but they're not going back to school and learning about nutrition. And our GPs, they get half a day on nutrition because the system is you recommend a nutritional advisor.
So it's even worse than that. What's worse is for our diabetics and for our obese patients and our patients with hypertension, we as physicians are adopting junk science. We're telling them to go and do these keto diets and cut the carbs. And we're telling our diabetic patients to eat lean meats and cut their carbohydrates back. what we're doing is we're worsening their diabetes. We're making their diabetes worse. Now the reps are coming in, the pharmaceutical reps are bringing insulin in and saying, we're recommending this as second line treatment, right behind metformin for diabetes. The first thing they want us to do now almost is put somebody on insulin. It's the worst thing we can do for a diabetic. It's absolutely terrible. The thing we need to do is cure the diabetes, fix the underlying problem. All we're doing is we're taking a Band-Aid approach. So not only do physicians not understand the stuff that we're talking about every week here, not only do most physicians do not understand or even they can't even conceptualize what we're talking about, they're actually doing things that are going to make the problem worse. So we're going to, until we see more people understanding that it's the animal products that are causing the diabetes, we're going to see this incidence of diabetes continue to skyrocket until it becomes such an international problem that all of this garbage with the keto diets and these high-fat, high animal protein diet stuff is finally pushed to the side, and we say, look, we can't keep up with it anymore. You guys are going to have to do something that's going to work on your own. You're going to have to adopt a whole food plant-based diet and go vegan, and your diabetes will go away. And when that message really gets, and it's not going to be me, it's going to be somebody that's already got, it's going to be the Dr. Oz's or somebody out there that's really got a national audience, somebody that's going to be listened to because they're popular, and they're going to start making a change. And then once we get more celebrities that begin to really adopt this whole food plant-based diet, then we'll see more of a movement. But the movement will sustain itself because people are getting healthier, and that's what's going to make it continue on. That's why I'm here, because it worked. Not because it didn't work, not because I'm selling something. Yeah, I don't make any money if somebody gets well, guys.
Yeah.
I don't have an incentive for this.
Or if they go out and buy some broccoli from their store.
I don't make any money on this.
And that's the problem. That nobody makes any money on people buying fruits and vegetables instead of using drugs.
Right.
Being prescribed drugs, because that keeps the whole machine going. It's just I know exactly. You want everyone to be healthy. But yeah, I guess, if nobody was ever sick, you'd be out of business.
Right, and that'd be just fine.
Yeah, that would be just fine. If you'd made everyone better,
if everybody got well, I could go home. I am home. I could go fishing every day, or something else. I don't know, but we're nowhere near there. The job before us is enormous, and we're more likely to make. I'm more likely to impact people by getting 15 people to sit and listen to us for an hour than I am to talk to 15 people in depth in my clinic over a 2-day period. I don't, it's hard to find time to really talk to somebody about what they eat. But I'm handing out copies of a book to read, and they're asking me, what did you do? You look so different. You look so healthy. You look so much younger. And then I tell them, well, I fixed my pre-diabetes. I fixed my kidney problems. I fixed my high blood pressure. I fixed my asthma. And they're just like, what? You did what? How did you do this? I stopped eating chicken. I stopped eating beef. I stopped eating pork. I stopped eating processed foods, and I'm eating a whole food plant-based diet, and I'm doing intermittent fasting, and then help me get my weight down, and I'm healthier. And you can do it too. You don't have to be sick. And I'm chipping away at it, and I'm giving them a copy of Dr. Davis' book and Dr. Esselstein's a copy of, not the whole book, but a copy of the title, and say, go spend $20, go buy these 2 books and read them. You'll understand then. At least then they're educated. At least then they're making an educated choice. If they want to go to the Taco Bell after that, that's their decision. But they're not doing it out of ignorance. They're just making a decision to stay the way they are.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a decision, and it's a big psychological decision. We've spoken about this before. And even that lovely, lovely doctor who died in December at 104, who was vegan for... that would have made it 60 years. He said, as soon as you start talking about what people are putting in their mouth, they get very defensive about it.
Yes, they do.
You can talk to people about, you need to exercise more.
They'll listen to that.
Go for a walk, get some more fresh air. But as soon as you say, oh, see that thing you're eating there, you should eat that, people don't like it. Because we have grown to associate lots of positive, lots of comforty, lovely, cuddly emotions with food. And guys, that's not what food was invented for. It is a fuel for our bodies. You know, horses don't lay there rolling around in the grass going, oh, I feel all lovely and warm inside because I've just bolted down a whole field of grass. They are eating it because they know they need it to live on. You know, and that is why my lovely was needing, you know, was craving bananas and avocados, because her body was going, oh, we need this. Right. Okay. Oh, let me, you know, that's what it's all about. And people have to admit that it's a big mindset, you know, issue. And a lot of people don't have the confidence for that. And, you know, a lot of people can't do this initially, you know, unless they have one of those, you know, lightning bolt moments where they're just like, oh my God, I'm not going to be here in 3 years' time unless I do something about it. And even that's enough. You know, sometimes it isn't. One of the speakers at the Fruit Fest that I went to, who is also a doctor, and he's a fruitarian, and he said, you know, the thing that upsets me the most is the people that have had their legs amputated due to smoking, who are outside as soon as something gets someone to wheel them out, having their first cigarette after their operation.
You betcha.
Sucking them down after the other. You know, they won't even stop doing that to save their legs. They'd rather live without legs than not eat this thing, you know, or avoid eating, you know, whatever that it's instilled in them. And it's, you know, we instill a lot of stuff in ourselves, you know, people, you know, the whole thing of not thinking you're good enough, you know, we pretty much all have a bit of that where we just don't think we're worthy enough for some reason or other, even if we don't recognize it. It's why people are shy.
Look at this. Have you seen Geraldine at all? Geraldine Albert, has she been on your channel, Sue?
Geraldine, I don't think she's on unless she's not commenting, because some people watch, so they don't like to comment because they're shy and stuff.
She's over on my channel. She says she switched to a plant-based diet in December and hasn't had to take insulin in over a month. So she was a type 2 diabetic who was on insulin, and as a result, she's not claiming, she doesn't want to claim yet that she's been cured, but she's cured. Either that or she's still on other meds and she's not saying. But
one of my lovelies today on one of my posts with all my vegetables in it, I know you don't do Facebook, Jack, but her doctor's reduced her type 2 diabetes meds. She's been doing it, is it 5 or 6 weeks or something she's been on it, which is really good. Right, I've got Sika says she manages her bipolar naturally, and my old doctor didn't want to know how I got it under control. You know, it's just not everyone has an inquiring mind, you know, and you know, maybe he's just stuck in his groove of doing what he's doing, and he doesn't want to be more creative in his chosen profession. You know, obviously Jack's all totally looking at this and researching stuff, and he's interesting and interested in living a better life, and he's passing that on. You know, he's not keeping it to himself. Tracy Cook is saying what's not being publicly said is that 5 fruit and veg a day is nowhere near enough. No, there was an article I read that, or it was a little news thing that fizzled away very quickly and didn't get much attention, that they're saying it's closer to 20 portions a day. And everyone was like, oh, that's ridiculous. How can you possibly eat 20 portions of fruit and vegetable a day? That's never going to happen. You know, all that was going on the radio shows about it.
That's just about all we eat, though, is fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
I mean, 20 portions? Are you kidding me? I mean, I eat fruits and vegetables all day if I can. I mean,
I know. Do I look unhealthy?
You look awful. Oh, you're obviously very unhealthy. You look so sick. We better get you a hamburger right away.
Quick, feed me some blood sausage. Honestly, it's ridiculous. Actually, hello, Chrissy, darling. Chrissy's just come on. She said that Dr. Oz just talked about plant-based lifestyles being the best way to eat. So I don't know when that is. So maybe it's coming. And maybe, just maybe.
Well, we need it to gradually continue. The number of people that call themselves vegans is growing, and it is growing. But we need it to happen. We don't need it to happen so fast that the food industry can't keep up with the change. You see what I'm saying? We don't need it
Yeah.
to happen so fast that people are getting frustrated that they can't find the foods that they need. We need the grocery store produce section to gradually start taking over the processed food sections, right? We
Yeah,
need
yeah,
this
yeah.
to happen at a rate so that capital industry can adjust, but it will. It definitely will, because they will continue to expand the frozen food sections if we keep buying out all the spinach and soybeans and apparently avocado and all these other things that are in there. If they keep selling out those sections, they're going to add.
Yeah.
They're going to move more
Yeah, they
pot
will.
pies out and reduce the size of the ice cream sections, and there's going to be more frozen fruits and vegetables to where people are like,
Absolutely. Uh,
yes, there
You're
you
right. They
go.
have supermarkets have massive algorithms that run on every single
Yes,
product, every single manufacturer. That's why you'll get the buy one get one free, because they're getting rid of it because it's not selling. They want to replace and use that bit of the shelf. You know, they have whole computer programs that work out how much shelf space to give to things, what level to put it on, whether to put it at eye level or on the ground. All your cheap basic ranges, you know, still nice and tasty, but just a bit knobbly, those kind of products, they're all right down the bottom because they don't make as much profit from those. They want you to buy the taste the difference range, which is really, I don't know even why they're even allowed to say that they're finest range and taste a bit better, because some of them only have like 0.5% more of the thing that actually you're buying it for in it anyway. And it's just a way of getting you to pay a premium for something that's pretty well not much different. But you know, they are working this out every second of every day across stores, across districts. You know, there's a reason why in a Jewish area there's loads of Jewish produce. There's a reason in a Turkish district there's loads of Turkish products. You know, it's all, I seem to have frozen. Oh, I've gone back again. It's because they monitor very carefully what's being bought and the demographic of the population around them. So if we keep buying this, you're right, Jack, they're going to expand that
right.
area. You know, absolutely. You know, this is how we all change the world and we all help each other. It's kind of one carrot at a time, one word at a time. I know Chrissy was saying that she doesn't even have to, you know, tell people she's a vegan. You know, they're coming up to her and going, oh my gosh, you look amazing. What are you doing? And they are looking for the magic bullet,
Right.
which is some fad diet that she's obviously been on, because everyone associates
Right.
being healthy with what dress
And
size
the
you
funny
are.
thing is, if she told people, "Oh, I'm doing the keto diet," 10 of them would go do the keto diet. But if she
Yeah,
tells them I've gone vegan, maybe one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Try
Well,
calling it plant-based,
yeah.
plant-based whole food.
Zero cholesterol diet. That's the one that
Yeah.
gets them. Just tell them I'm on a zero cholesterol diet, and then they have to stop and think about it. They do that. They have to think about that one.
Did I actually tell you? I can't remember, because I had a conversation with someone. It might have been Deb's. Um, the veganuary, you know, veganuary, the kind of going vegan in January, which is
Oh,
where I
oh, yes, I
started
remember that. Yes.
veganuary. Well, the veganuary team, because it's actually, I didn't realize it's a charity. It's not just one of those sober October kind of like a kind of a mass thing that just everyone does. It's actually, veganuary is a charity. And so they rang me to ask me, to thank me for taking part in it again this year, and asking me, you know, did I stick to it, blah, blah, blah. So I gave them a bit of a chat about how I just carried on after January last year, and that I'm still doing it with a couple of slip-ups. And I told them all about this channel, and how many new vegans, you know, there are on this lovely channel with us. And she said it was absolutely astounding this year. 250,000 people went vegan for January, which is by far like a massive leap from the previous year. And this is in lots of different countries. They had people from all sorts of countries, just all different continents doing it. And she said, my job is to ring everyone up who signed up for it to ask them, did you like our newsletters? Was the information good? Blah, blah, blah. And she said, I speak to about 60 people a day. And she only rang me last week. So it's quite a lot of days, quite a lot of people. And there's a massive team of people doing it. And she said, every single person she called said they felt better for it. They felt healthier. They felt more energy.
It will.
And they were telling their stories because they'd had such a positive experience with changing their diet, So that was a good thing. And I advised her that next year when they push it, because they want to go bigger and better, obviously, that they concentrate on the health benefit. They do as many posts on the health benefits of it as opposed to saving the animals, because that puts a lot of people off because they don't want to be, for loads of reasons. And there is a great big selfish element about human beings that we all want to know what's in it for ourselves. So I just thought I'd share that with you, that 250,000 people did it, and everyone they've contacted so far felt better.
Yeah. So maybe a lot of them will stick with it. Who knows, right? Maybe a lot of them will say, there's no sense in going back eating that way, and and they'll stick with it and stay healthier. So.
Right, I got a question for you, Jack. Okay, I answered it while you were talking before. Tracy said, "Is there? Can you have too much fruit a day?" And I've put no.
No.
No. And then Karen has asked, "Is canned fruit okay if it's in water or pear juice instead of in syrup?"
Well, what do you mean pear juice? What's pear juice? Is that just saying putting different kinds of fruit inside in pear juice?
Yes, as a way of keeping it in, because it's always in
liquid.
Look,
it's not your first choice. It would be better than in heavy syrup. Okay. I would rather you just get some fruit.
Right.
Get some frozen fruits or get some fresh fruits. If you have to use canned fruits, I mean, if there's an economical reason or if they're like a storage reason, some people just can't store it. Some people can't get to the market that often. I mean, there's accessibility issues for some people. I mean, I understand all of that's true. Then make the best decision you can, and certainly diced fruit in water would be healthier than diced fruit in heavy syrup, which we used to eat, called fruit cocktail when I was a kid.
Yeah,
right? It was loaded with sugar, right? Oh, that was so good.
Gosh.
Man, that
Absolutely.
was
good. Lynn is saying she thinks you have to be careful with too much fruit if you are a diabetic.
Well, then there you go. So if you are diabetic, then until you fix your diabetes, you probably should stay away from a lot of really high, sugary stuff, okay? But once you've fixed your diabetes, then that's no longer an issue, and then you can eat as you wish as long as it's whole food plant-based.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you know, the festival I went to last year is it's called the Fruit Fest.
Yeah.
And there are an awful lot of fruitarians there, and all they eat is fruit. They don't eat anything else other than a few leaves, a couple of nuts and seeds, but literally it's about 99% fruit.
Do they eat nuts?
Sometimes they eat nuts in things. A true fruitarian will have some leafy greens because there are things that you need from that. They'll eat cucumber, a tiny bit of, I think you call them scallions, green onions,
right.
Salad onions. What else did we have there? We did have a few sunflower seeds and we had a few herbs, but they really mainly eat fruit. And one of my friends, lovely lady, not only does she make violins as her business, but she is Denmark's top ultra marathon runner. Like, she's just like top. She does ultra marathons, which, if any of you don't know what that is, it's where you do 5 or 6 marathons back to back, day after day. You can go across a desert doing them, or go across the Amazon, or De Sable. That's an event. They're massive events. And she is Denmark's top female at it. And she does all the guided running at the festival that I went to. And all she eats is fruit. And for the last 11 years. So she is like a lean, strong, amazing machine of a physique.
Right.
That she's got stamina, and she just eats fruit. And I know she'll do some fasting as well, because a lot of the fruitarians do that as well, or they do something called mono eating, which is where they'll just eat one type of food for a day or several days, because then the body just uses the digestive juices just for processing that one simple food that it understands. It gives the body a bit of a rest.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of them do that for health and detox reasons. But so fruit is great, but yeah, if you've got diabetes, you don't want to just be
Right. You want to cure the diabetes first. You want to go whole food plant based, but I would stick with more vegetables than fruits. Certainly you can have some fruits, but once you've seen your A1C come down to where you no longer need any medications, then you can begin adding more fruit into your diet if you want to eat more fruit.
yeah,
I would just say
yeah,
be smart about it. Don't be namby-pamby about it. Don't
yeah,
overload yourself with real sugary fruits until such time as your body is better able to handle the fruits. Your inability to process sugars is coming from the fact that you've loaded your body up with fats from animals and proteins from animals that are interfering with your body's ability to process glucose. Once you've eliminated those items from your diet for about a 12 to 13 week period is what we're seeing, then generally speaking, your glucose sensitivity comes back to normal, and you're able to then eat normally, and by that I mean eat fruits and vegetables in whatever quantities you want. But you have to make sure that you are cured of the diabetes first.
yeah. There you go. Take care of, by balanced plant-based whole food eating. And, we now have this lovely recipe where Jack has sorted out, balanced it all out. So we're getting all the nutrients we need and all the minerals and vitamins that we need. And it's a good balance of the 80-10-10, and it's there. It's just a few simple ingredients, excellent stuff.
Okay, so we want you guys to, as many of you as you possible, to work on this menu that we brought out on Thursday, and we'll bring a new menu out for next Thursday. So then you'll have two menus to choose from, right? But the idea of picking a menu for the week makes it easier for shopping, and it allows us to have something to talk about, how to prepare those foods the best ways. Okay,
Yeah,
just like I've learned something today about how to prepare the edamame, right? I was having some trouble there. So
yeah,
as a collective, we're able to work together and get more information about, and feedback as to what's good and what's not so good, and learn about substitutions and things like that. So let's stick with the one that we came out with. We'll call that Vegan Menu 1, right? And then on
yeah.
Thursday, I'll bring out Vegan Menu number 2. So if you have any items that you would like to see on Vegan Menu number 2, email them to me, and I'll see if I can't work them in for you, because I'll be looking to change it up as much as possible. There may be some
Yeah.
repeats, you never know. So, I'm a creature of habit, and there are some on there that I really like. So, unless you make suggestions, you may see some of the same foods again. You just don't know.
Oh, tomatoes
Yeah.
and bell peppers.
Yeah, I really like tomatoes and bell peppers, and I'm also I'm
See.
also an avocado fan. So you could, if you,
Oh, they are a staple. It's just like in old money, bread being a staple in a diet. The avocado is our equivalent of bread. It just like, and you can make so much with it. It gives you all the lovely, yummy things as well. And it's really good mixed with smoothies and your stuff like that as well, because it makes it creamy. Yeah, it's just we love them. I'm going to let you know about the cooking of avocados. Someone asked me about cooking avocados. Basically, you just put them in the oven whole, and I think do you wrap them in foil? I think you might wrap everyone's going to go, oh, aluminium again, but you wrap them in foil. And you bake them for about 20-25 minutes, and then you cut them open, and they're just gorgeous. Sometimes I chuck them into stir fries, actually. And I also, you're going to be finding me putting an awful lot of rhubarb in my stir fries, because it gives you that sour in the element of it. It kind of gives it like an Asian thing, because I'm just going to show you this photograph of my rhubarb. Look,
Oh, that
spring.
looks like something in the dirt.
Oh, that's rhubarb.
Doesn't that come from a cow?
No,
Doesn't come from a cow? Okay, it's just yeah.
no. So just check. It's fruit and veg. Fruit and veg. Um, and Chrissy is asking you, would an A1C of 5.9 be borderline diabetic?
We don't really use the term borderline anymore. We say pre-diabetes, and 5.9 is where I was when I made the transition. I was pre-diabetic. We start treatment at 6.3 or 6.2, depending on how aggressive your physician is. So that would be pre-diabetes. So if you're on the way down, it could be exiting diabetes. If you're on the way up, like most of us were or are, then that's pre-diabetes.
Yeah. Right. Okay. And Mary is just saying, Mary Knox saying you can't cure type 1
No,
diabetes.
not type 1. We're
Are
not
you
talking about
saying
type 1. No.
Okay. So he's talking about type 2. So
Yeah.
he's not saying A1C will be in a proper range if you're a type 1.
Type 1, none of this applies to type 1 diabetes. We've been very clear about that from the beginning. Type 1 diabetics are insulin dependent for life unless they get cured with a pancreas transplant or something. It is not the same thing. It is also, type 1 diabetes is less than 4% of diabetics. It does not apply to what we're talking about here. The epidemic in diabetes is type 2 diabetes, and some of them are becoming insulin dependent down the road, but they're sort of becoming insulin dependent because they're burning out their pancreas. If you've had type 2 diabetes for 30 years, you're no longer truly a type 2 anymore. You're actually a type 1.5. We've talked about that convergence, right? Okay. So
Mary hasn't been on, or she's new, so she might not have heard that.
Okay,
so it's good to clarify that, because there will also be people listening who aren't talking, and there will be people watching the replay. So thanks for clarifying that, Jack.
Yeah, you need to go back and watch some of the older videos that we've done, and we've talked about that, and I'm not sure which one, but we can always bring it up at the beginning. If you bring it up at the beginning of a discussion, I can get that in there for you and sort of describe how that happens.
I've got an idea for that, actually, Jack, that I was going to email you today, but I didn't get finished messaging all my lovelies who are all messaging me about stuff today. So I wondered if you and I might actually do a video where we go through it. So there's a video that people can watch which go through all the bullet points that, rather than keep going over. So that, because somebody said, which one of your shows should I watch? And I was like, oh gosh, I don't know, because that's a 2-hour one. That one's I wondered if we could maybe do something this that we record and then we put out on our channel. So it's like our watch this, we talk about the fundamentals here.
We can do that.
They join in. I think it's good for people who are thinking of joining. But I think for some people that will look in, because we all know each other very well now and we're like a real solid unit, some people kind of tuning in might think, oh, this is all they're all for. I don't, I couldn't join that because they're already in.
Oh, no, that's not the case. Not the case at all.
Oh, no, of course it isn't.
No, not the case at all. There's a lot of information and there's a lot of misconceptions that we have to come back over and talk about. And it takes a lot of time to do that. And it's a process. And a lot of this we've really worked on together as a group. And a lot of the research that I've learned, even in the last 30 to 45 days, I didn't know when we first started. So, and basically it's a lot more evidence that really supports our activities and how we're helping people. So, and a lot more reasons why almost anybody could expect to gain health benefits by adopting, this type of a lifestyle that we're talking about here. So, but yeah, we can definitely do that. We can say this will be, we'll have a video that talks about type 1 versus type 2 and who, who can expect to benefit and why not. We can talk about fasting. Who should fast and who shouldn't fast and why. We can come up with a whole collection of these videos. That is not a problem.
Yeah, let's do that, Jack. That would be fantastic. Absolutely amazing. I think that'd be a really, really, really good idea. Mary is saying thank you very much. She has 2 children who are type 1 diabetics.
So I had I'm going to leave you with this. I had a new patient last week, 17-year-old boy. He was 385 pounds, 17 years old. He came in because he was tired. His mother brought him in, also extremely obese. She brought this young man in because he was tired, not because he was overweight. I said, how'd you get so big? He said, I played football a couple of years ago. I stopped, meaning when he was 15, he stopped. He said it was all muscle and it turned to fat. I said, you mean to tell me when you were 15 years old, you had 385 pounds of muscle? And he said, no. There's a lot of denial out there, folks.
There is. And it's not easy. And that's why you guys are such rock stars, because even those of you who are treading in, one kind of getting rid of one sort of old habit as you go, you're absolutely amazing. You should really praise yourself, because there's a whole lot of people out there who are just going to say, like your patients, when you go, oh, well, what have you done? Oh, amazing. Oh, what you mean? Give up my burger? Oh, I'll never do that. That's not, doesn't even compute from an intellectual point of view, having had a conversation with somebody who is not just an intelligent man, but it's actually his profession, and he's actually cured himself. So he is a living, walking, talking, breathing example who is a professional doctor who will give him these absolute trusted facts that are true, and saying, give up my meat, you must be joking. That isn't actually because they don't believe him. It's because they're in denial. They don't feel they could, because their red meat eating, burger eating is associated with so much more than just chewing and swallowing it. It'll be a whole culture around what they do, or I don't know. It's a lot deeper. It's so much deeper than that. So I wanted to just mention that, because I know you're going to hop off now and it is time to go in a minute. Hi, Carol, sweetheart. I'm sorry you've just made it, darling.
You can always watch from the beginning if you're just getting here. You can always watch from the beginning.
Yeah, watch from the beginning. It's been a great show tonight, sweetheart. Hi, Sherry, darling. Ada, who joined us, I think, about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and who's really getting to grips with things, she suggested having a tomato, pepper, and lettuce sandwich. So rolling your tomatoes and your peppers into a big lettuce leaf and eating it like that. That is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. And the last thing I will say is Tracy said, oh, I want to eat more fruit because of my lazy cooking habit. Do you know what? The easiest, laziest, best way to eat your fruits and vegetables?
Right off the vine, baby.
It's to just, I didn't show you this. This is a Romanesque. It's a cauliflower thing. It's to just break it off.
Just eat it.
No prep.
Nope.
No prep.
No prep. We'll just wash it. Just rinse it off. Rinse it off.
Exactly. You cannot get more whole than just eating a whole apple. You don't have to chop it up. You don't have to do anything. You just have to get these teeth that are designed for eating fruits and vegetables. Bite into it. I love that you're lazy with your cooking. Just eat the actual ingredients, Just do that, babes.
There you
go. Amazing.
There you go. All right, well, let's call it a day or a night for you in London area. So, a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And I'm going to go now. Sorry, I've got my mouth full again. I seem to just spend all of these videos eating.
And we're on, next will be 6 p.m. Texas time on Thursday, 7 o'clock Eastern time, and midnight London time Thursday. That's our next discussion. More feedback on this menu vegan, daily vegan menu number 1, and we will unveil number 2. The second one.
Absolutely. And if you've got anything that you want Dr. G to include, I know one of you said, can we have more iodine-rich plants in next week's menu? I think it was you, actually, that had that iodine thing. Robin, there was a 10-point discussion in the early day. I think Jack and I will get together and we'll do a little series of videos where we can actually just go through it, and we can stick it up on both of these channels so that you can get access to it. And you can share that information. When you know someone who's a diabetic, just go, have some of that. Someone who's got migraines, have some of them eggs. But not eggs, obviously. That's just a saying that we have in the UK. So absolutely fantastic. So again, anything you want to know, put them in the comments. The live chat, we won't get to read that again because it means we have to watch it all live to find the comments as they come up. So do put them in the comments on this video, and we will have a look at those during the week. It means Jack can look at them as well.
Right. I never go back over the videos again, but if you post a new comment on a video, it always shows up, and I'm sure to review those. So if you don't want to email me directly and you just want to put a comment in, I'll usually see that. So
absolutely.
On my channel. If you do it on Sue's channel, I probably won't see it. But if you do it on my channel, I'll get notified, and I log in.
But I'll see it, and I'll let Jack know. So that's good.
Okay.
Well done, everybody who is promoting it, who is shining with wonderful progress. I'm so pleased for you all. Lots of love to you. Thanks for all your input tonight. It's been absolutely great. I've loved every minute.
Good chat. Bye for now.
Bye, darlings.